What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is going to be British heatwaves ain't got nothing on America. Now, this video is pretty fitted at the moment because finally, you could say summer's hit in September, I guess. We've got a day which is 28 degrees. It's been about 28 degrees today. It's been absolutely red hot. I've been in the office all day, typical. My first day back at work after my holiday, back in the office, and it's roasting outside. But it's just nice to be able to go outside and have warm weather, warm air, and I've really enjoyed it. And I know what you're thinking. I can already see the comments. British guy has a heat wave, wearing a jumper in the video. Now, I am wearing a jumper, but I have been on holiday for a week. A lot of my clothes need ironing and stuff like that, and it was just something I had clean, so I've whacked it on just for this video. I don't just walk around in our heat waves, I guess, and call it like walking around with a jumper in the heat waves. I can't do that. I can hardly stand them anyway. I'm British. As soon as you get a bit of warm weather, I suffer. I really, really do. But luckily, it's not too hot in my room at the moment, and the jumper will have to do for this video. So yeah, heat waves ain't got nothing on it. I know some of your temperatures are insane. I think it was Death Valley? We've heard in another video, which gets ridiculously hot, and I think his launch is going to explain. It's going to compare, I imagine, maybe Britain's best heat waves, or maybe just a standard heat wave, and then America's. I'm not too sure. I assume that's the way it's going to go. And yeah, I am a British guy complaining about a heat wave. Well, actually, I really like it. I'm not complaining that much while wearing a jumper and reacting to why America's heat waves are so much hotter, I guess. I imagine that's what's going to be. So if you enjoy that kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You're absolute legends as well. And I hope you're happy that 2 videos a day is back. We're getting back on that grind, but there is a heat wave at the moment. So if I do want to go outside and hit some sun, I'm sorry if you only get 1 video, but it should be 2. And hopefully this is the first day you're getting 2 again, because I am back off holiday now. Now enough about waffling, because I'm starting to overheat in this jumper. So let's get straight into the reaction.
The year was 1913. The place, Death Valley. And this was not the beginning of a vampire novel.
Yo, wait, I actually just said Death Valley. Oh, let's go. Yo, I knew it, literally, because I think it was a Geography King video, or maybe it was a launch video where it was on about summer items, and we talk about how hot it got, but Death Valley was like well known, super hot, and if you go there, it's Death Valley, innit? You're going to heat stroke or something like that, you're going to die, potentially. Hopefully you don't die if you go to Death Valley, I don't know, but it's very dangerous, I guess, with the temperatures.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to heat waves. Both countries have experienced their fair share of them over the centuries. As someone who orbited the sun 26 times while living in Britain, I vaguely recall some of my homelands. I say vaguely because the thing about heat waves is that they don't linger in the memory like a blizzard or a hurricane. They don't yield shaky YouTube videos or Michael Bay set pieces. They're just a period of perspirational misery. In 2006,
Well, I suppose I'm saying 28 either. It's not really. You're talking like 35 degrees, stuff like that. But this summer's been awful, so I'm classing it as a heat wave. We finally got some sun. But I am going to remember this one because it's the day I wore a jumper on a really hot day. Probably one of the hottest days of our summer so far in September. Madness, absolutely madness.
Britain experienced its hottest ever July, with the thermometer soaring to what I thought was a quite ridiculous 99 degrees Fahrenheit. One night, my wife and I camped out in my brother's living room in London. What happened next was a lesson in why you should never sleep on a blow-up mattress atop a flat in 99-degree heat in a country where AC is fiction.
Right, that's it, Lawrence. I'm going to have to check out. I'm going to have to do it. Right, here we go. 37 degrees Celsius. I did say it would be more like a 35 or a 37 or something. I said 34, 35. So there we go. We've got our translator, so if we need it, we've got it.
Rumour has it that our sweat still haunts the ceiling. But what is a heat wave? A heat wave is not just a case of hot weather. If it was, the southern US would be embroiled in perpetual summer heat wave, with temps often reaching what on earth degrees Fahrenheit.
Incredible. Humidity, that's going to be coming in. You know, I've done a little bit in architecture. I know about my humidity and the water table and stuff like that.
No, a heat wave is a period of heat relative to the usual temperature of a place or season.
Oh, okay.
So when measurements
Never mind.
exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Britain, as they did in Cambridge last year, it's definitely a heat wave.
Wow.
And I know that because this has only happened twice in the nation's history. In parts of the US, it's an annual tradition and will only become more frequent this century. Even while living toward the Great Lakes, I've encountered the dreaded 3 digits more than once. Between this and America's extreme winters, there's a reason I miss British weather. After all, British heat waves ain't got nothing on America. If you don't believe me, let's take a look at a selection of America's greatest heats.
1896.
While not the hottest, this heat wave is notable for its persistence. In July and August of 1896, it impacted several populous cities such as New York, Boston, and Chicago over a period of 10 days. That's 24 hours longer than Michelle Phillips was married to Dennis Hopper. During those 10 days, the temperatures in those cities remained above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, even at night.
That's incredible. New York, right? I've heard a few rumours that you don't really want to go to New York in the summer too much because it's too hot. It's a bit smelly in places as well because of all the trash and stuff like what they throw out. Again, I don't know that. That is what I've been told. I've got my New York City jumper. I loved it when I went in the winter. But it's a city. It's very enclosed. You don't want it to be that hot in the countryside for that long period. But in a city, it must be awful, man. And yeah, I like it for a couple of days and then bring a bit of cooler weather, then bring it back. Continuous? Nah, I can't be doing that.
Worse still, the humidity was about 90%, and this was in the days before aircon and Ben and Jerry's Chunky Monkey. Before entering into a bet with William Howard Taft over who could rock the best presidential facial hair, Teddy Roosevelt was New York City Police Commissioner. During the heat wave, he dished out ice creams to residents, which leads me to think he might have missed his true calling in life. To my mind, the world was truly robbed of mustachio-flavoured ice cream.
Oh, man.
Just as 2020 feels like a runaway train that's devoured 12 bottles of Dennis Hopper,
Very
1936 felt the same way, but in black and white. America was in the throes of its worst ever depression. The Dust Bowl continued to engulf the Great Plains, and the nation endured one of its worst heat waves in modern history. The year's one bright spark was when Olympian Jesse Owens stormed to 4 gold medals in front of German Chancellor and ardent snowflake Adolf Hitler. But even as that was happening, temperatures in multiple states had exceeded 100 degrees for more than 10 consecutive days.
That's awful,
State
man.
records had to be rewritten. To this day, 13 states have yet to best the records they set in the summer of 1936. This includes North Dakota, where temperatures soared to a high of 121 degrees. Nationwide,
we've got to translate that. 121 degrees. Oh my God, man.
more than 5,000 Americans died due to the heat.
Wait, how many was that?
Degrees. Nationwide, more than 5,000 Americans died due to the heat. Crop devastation was widespread, and it just happened to follow one of the coldest winters in US history. To this day, 2 states have yet to best the records they set in February 1936. This includes North Dakota, where temperatures plummeted to minus 60 degrees. 1936. Kicking North Dakota's ass since 1936.
Oh my God, man.
In the early 50s, Gene Kelly was singing In the Rain. This would have been a huge kick in the teeth to people in the central United States because a persistent and record-setting heatwave was wreaking havoc there. Some areas experienced worse drought than during the Dust Bowl. In 1954, the year of Dennis Hopper's first television appearance, 11 states endured 22 days of 100-plus weather, and the Super Soaker 50 was still the stuff of a madman's dreams. In July of that year, my current state of Illinois recorded its highest ever temperature, with the thermometer reaching 117 degrees in East St. Louis.
Too hot.
Rumour has it that microbes are still hiding under Eads Bridge to this day.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is incredible. You guys win. We've only gone over 100 twice in history, and you guys, it's just brutal. I knew it was brutal. You don't realise how brutal it is until you get the stats in front of you. You really don't.
This is not an actual heat wave. Right? This is a Motown hit by Martha and the Vandellas. Yeah, it's a great song, but we don't have the rights to it. Can we skip to 88? Thanks. In America, 1988 is remembered less for its heat wave and more for the droughts it exacerbated. It's also remembered by me for an unusual lack of Dennis Hopper films and the line, "Senator, you're no Jack Nicholson." I think I dreamt that one. But the weather that year was no laughing matter. Weather stations recorded an unprecedented number of days between precipitation in many parts of the Midwest. In the spring, Milwaukee endured 55 days without rain or snow.
What?
A phenomenal feat for anyone who's been to Milwaukee.
Yeah, isn't Milwaukee meant to have a lot of snow? That's incredible. That is actually incredible, because I would have said Milwaukee, yeah, they get quite a bit of snow just off what I've seen and what I feel. That is incredible.
At its worst, the drought covered almost half the nation. Forest fires ran rampant, most notably at Yellowstone National Park, which suffered the largest in its history.
Man.
The event led to one of the worst dust migrations since the 30s, and schools were forced to close in Dakota of the southern variety. Now, this is all terrible, you're probably thinking, but aren't droughts and heat waves two different things? Well, yeah, it's just that this particular drought happened to coincide with one of the most stunning heat waves since 1936. It's estimated that between 4,000 and 17,000 Americans died as a result. Adjusted for inflation, it's the third costliest natural disaster in US history behind Hurricanes Katrina and Harvey.
Yeah, honestly, that is scary to think, and it's mental, and it's awful to hear. It really is. End of the day, these things, it's always awful to hear. But a heat wave caused that as well. You just think it's uncomfortable for a few days. You don't really think about the consequences a lot of the time if it continues. And again, me being sheltered from Britain with the British weather, it doesn't continue. You get it for your day every so often. And, that's awful to think, man. It just shows how different it is over here, and we don't have to think about them things. And is that scary for you guys? Do you ever think about it? You think when the sun hits and it's starting to go on a bit wild, do you ever start panicking or anything like that? Potentially it's getting dangerous, droughts and stuff like that. I know it's a bit different in modern times. It definitely is a bit different. But do you ever think about it? Let me know in the comments, because that is mental to think, man, and it's awful.
In many ways, I've lived two lives, one in Britain and one in America, and a third one in an alternate universe where I have marginally better teeth and go by the name of Emma, but we don't talk about that. The 2016 Southwest heatwave is the only one included on this list to have occurred during my second life as a US resident. The good thing was, it was 2,000 miles away. During the month of June, temperatures in the states of California, Arizona and Nevada looked more like supercentenarian statistics. You had numbers like 110, my age in Time Lord years, all the way up to 125.
Oh, man.
That measurement was taken in Needles, California, a place that has literally never been hotter. Of course, California knows a thing or two about heat waves. Not only is the state frequently riddled with droughts and wildfires, it's also home to the hottest recorded temperature the world has ever known. The year was 1913.
This is Death Valley, because Death Valley is definitely in California, and it's about visual waters at the intro. So, yeah, Death Valley. I got that right. I'm proud. Well, I'm proud I got it right, but I imagine it's tragic, and that's probably why it's got its name. I don't know the full story.
Place, Death Valley. And this was not the beginning of a vampire novel. On July 10th of that year, the temperature maxed out at 134 degrees. It happened before. It will happen again. Just please not in 2020. That's it for this episode. I hope you're enjoying the warm weather while remaining safe. And welcome to my new studio, which is still a tad echoey. We're going to get a rug down here and some extra acoustic panels. Either way, this was made possible by my...
We'll end it there. If you want to go and check out Lawrence's patrons, or go and check his Patreon out, go to this video. The link will be in the description. I chatted a lot in that. I probably made an absolute idiot of myself as well. But yeah, I hope you guys stay safe when the sun does come around next time. And I probably feel like an idiot for being happy with 28-degree heat, because that's nothing compared to the dangers that you guys get. Absolutely insane. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Why not? Videos are back. Absolute legends you got. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.